Hello, everyone, and welcome to our bi-weekly Wrath and Glory Warhammer 40K actual play. Joined by almost all of my castmates and our wonderful GM, Chris. Sadly, our special guest, who was supposed to be rounding out the team this week, Elaine, has the flu, so we wish her well. Glad she is feeling okay enough to chat with us on Discord, but can't join us today. We are going into, I believe, the final episode of Graveyard Shift.
That is correct. Yes, this is the final session, should be final session for Graveyard Shift. Where we left the players last time was that they had gone into the Galfredus mausoleum and recovered a item of heretical nature, clearly a chaos artifact of some form, known as the Revelator. And they have obviously their original mission was to recover this artifact and return it to the inquisitorial interrogator Mendax. However, of course, the group has, I think, considered they've got a different opinion on what they want to do, considering that this device, this artifact, seems quite dangerous. And so they have recovered the vehicle that Diomedes was driving them in originally. Diomedes, of course, died. He got a shot through the head. I know, or in the chest. He got pretty much eviscerated by some horrible weapon. And, they faced servitors and a strange xenos servitor amalgamation that defended the mausoleum. And currently, Rufio, the beastman, is driving this vehicle all the way back to the main city on the planet of Daedalus, known as Barastir. And from there, I am sure they're going to try and work out how the hell they're going to get off-world and back to the fleet of Veronius.
Yeah, I believe we already we requisitioned a transport from the Sisters of Battle Librarian.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We returned her servitor skulls.
Right.
And then flashed some creds.
Nice.
So I think she hasn't requisitioned quite yet. She was at least looking into it, like some passage off, I believe. Or have you actually got a ship? Was it that? Did we agree it was a full ship? I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a good month, hasn't it? Anyone want to dip into that? Can we remember? I'm sure someone in the chat will say.
I'm pretty sure we have a shuttle, not like a full ship, but we should be able to get to
Or she had summoned one, but it wasn't quite there yet. I'm not sure.
That's probably
it had been summoned.
Yes. So you are going to have to spend some time on Daedalus still, as you await for the ship to arrive, and it will be landing at the main spaceport of Barastir. Likely, the ship you've requisitioned will be a small lander, and you'll be again masquerading as either archivists or administratum or priests, or obviously missionaries to the world in order to get passage off, because you're trying to maintain your cover. So you're coming away from the librarium on Barastir, having spoken to the archivist, and you are in, night is falling and the rain is still falling, and of course you're watching the serfs and plebs and workers come out from the cathedral, come out from the corpse starch processing center, going back to their prefabricated hab blocks in the city, and of course the question is, what are you going to do as you await for your passage off world?
I think we should strategize a little bit, kind of refresh what our plan was when we go to talk to Lord Veronius. What do you think? Am I supposed to refer to you by your title, or just still keep calling you Danny from here on out?
Still keep calling me Danny for now until we are off world.
Sure. No, so we can go grab one of those quiet rooms here at the library. You know, they've all got
Yeah,
them.
let's go into one of the quieter, secluded rooms that we can talk without ears.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way through to one of the smaller chambers, one of the reading chambers that is maintained. Obviously, talking to the archivist, and you were able to show a good bit of coin. She has been able to set this aside for you. You have a key, a simple mortise lock key, encrusted with skulls and obviously an aquila, and you're able to lock the door behind you. This is done obviously to maintain security because you may well have been an official requisitioning some carefully selected text which is not for all eyes. You sit there. It's again, it's not an opulent. Just think of a very rundown library. There is thick, old lacquered wooden tables. There are desk lamps. Well, I say desk lamps, it's just candles that are maintained by some servitor that's floating around, lighting them for you as you enter the room. Again, it's carrying an incense burner with it, which adds a musky kind of scent to the room. And as you enter, it also makes a small pinging sound as it dims the noise of canticles and prayers that are coming from some vox speaker somewhere within the room.
I was quite enjoying that. But I suppose we must concentrate on the matters at hand.
So what's your plans?
That's a good question. Daniel, what is our plan here? So we know the Inquisition can't be trusted with this. So at least not this one Ordos Xenos, I think. I'm not too familiar with the different conspiratorial inquisitional branches, but clearly this item has some dark influence to it.
No, it's far too powerful to give to the Inquisition. I agree with Rufio on this one. No,
So we're just going to go straight to Lord Veronius himself and ensure that this matter is dealt with the utmost urgency.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
Well, I mean, we'll go to Severina first, the captain.
Will we?
I was just going to interject. I think we can assume that Annette will have headed off, mostly drawn by some sort of psychic message somewhere, likely a message from the fleet or something, as she is an astropath and is attending to another matter for another patron.
I think we need to go to Lord Veronius first. Because if we go to Severina, she is the one that was working with I'm blanking on her name.
Mendax.
Yeah.
Mendax, yeah.
Mendax, who drugged us and threw us in a pile of corpses and then shoved us down to this planet. Clearly, Lady Severina could be compromised.
I don't want to imply that to Lord Veronius. I would like for him to come to that conclusion on his own.
And who knows? Maybe it's not the case. But we understand that. I think we all can agree that Lady Severina may not be the safest choice for us. I'm not saying that she's antagonistic to us, but she may be unduly influenced in this situation. So I concur that we should go straight to Lord Veronius himself.
I agree.
And how do you propose we get to Lord Veronius?
Well, if we had our astropath, this would be a lot easier.
Yes, unfortunately our astropath was called away, so
yeah,
it will make it a bit more difficult to get there.
Indeed. As a question to the storyteller, do we recall where Lord Veronius was? Is he here in this system at the moment, or is he further
Well,
out?
you're only in the system, in the Gilead system. Progress has not been made beyond the Gilead system. The first port of call is to the Gilead and to pacify it for the Imperium. Given that you're in the part of the Imperium which is cut off from Terror by the Secretix Maledictum. So currently the fleet is there. You could get a message to him. The question is how, and your best bet is, there is no FTL kind of messaging in the setting. Your best bet is either using a astropath that you can trust, or if you want to, given that you're communicating within system, you could communicate by some sort of slow electronic message from a communications tower. The most likely place for a communications tower is in the main cathedral of Barastir, because the cathedral is a center point for all administration of imperial business.
No.
However, that would be highly secure.
Would it be highly secure? We are dealing with the Inquisition, the most insidious. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I meant getting to the actual communications equipment.
Indeed.
Is secure.
Indeed.
Whether it would be your message would be secure itself, no, likely not.
Indeed. I think we just need to get this shuttle and just show up on his doorstep, if you will. Weird. Do you have any opinions, some approbation, perhaps? You can just nod yes, shake your head, write something down. That's a good way to communicate. Whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with.
Weird nods towards Rufio in agreement. His assessment.
Cool. Well, I mean, you're agreeing with Danny as well. I think the only person that has maybe some consternation was Sister Mariana here. Sister, do you feel that we're going to be going in the right direction now, based off this information?
I just didn't want to show up unannounced, but these are extreme circumstances, so I suppose that that is allowed.
All right, so then we need to discuss what is our most important points for this, because we need to all be on the same page as to why this is urgent. We need to be able to form this into full, complete sentences.
Indeed. Yes, Sister Mariana, please continue.
We have an artifact of chaos, which we can neither control nor destroy. We need to get that to somebody who can do one of those things. We do not trust the Inquisition to do either of those things successfully. And we have some reservations about our captain. Those are our bullet points.
Indeed. Would it be, I don't think it would be wise, but perhaps it might be prudent to mention that I heard some whispers from the ether as I held this artifact, as it lusted to be given, for its darkness to be given to this Inquisitor. Maybe we just don't mention that until things seem like they're not going well.
My thought is that your word may not be taken as heavily as someone else's on
Indeed.
that. I believe you.
Indeed. Well, people do seem to distrust me for my fur and horns, but
rightly so.
Yes. As
Speaking
you say,
of corruption, speaking of corruption, as Rufio is ruminating on this matter and how it is spoken to him, everyone can make corruption rolls. So the difficulty number is going to be 3. Does anyone have any corruption points?
No, but everybody, since we're in one little roll, one little room rather, you get double your rank bonus dice to corruption tests.
Yeah,
right.
And
remind me what we roll for a corruption.
Yeah, remind me what we roll, please.
Yeah, I need to remember what to test. Corruption
It's been a little bit.
It's been a little bit, yeah. We've been doing a lot of other stuff. Meanwhile, corruption tests. You need to roll your. Let's see. It's a conviction trait. So you roll your conviction trait against against a difficulty number of 3.
And then what's the bonus we get again? Sorry.
Double your rank, which I believe we're all rank 2.
R.
So you get 4 bonus dice on that.
And do we add wrath die to this too?
I do not. If you, yes, you do.
Okay.
Rufio has failed his corruption test.
Seriously?
Yep. It's finally happening. The first step towards chaos.
7 successes for
I
Sister
had
Mariana.
So everyone else has passed.
I think everybody else has.
Okay, so Rufio, so if you fail corruption test, you gain 1 point of corruption.
Nice.
And I gain a point of ruin.
Oh no. Rufio, you're gonna be the death of us.
Well, he's gonna be the
Yes,
death of one of
Rufio,
us.
as your, are you the one holding the Revelator?
I think Rufio was.
We
Yeah.
wrapped it up
Yeah.
though. We did.
Yes.
So he's not touching it.
Yeah.
As it's there, maybe you've placed it on the table. You begin hearing it speaking in a tongue you cannot comprehend, but you know the feeling it gives you, the feeling that it wants you to touch it, to speak to it, to take it to Mendax, take it beyond this world, take it to the rift. It wants freedom. And it could give you so much in return. It knows your twisted heart. It knows your desires. It could give you so much more.
As everyone else is debating and discussing things, Rufio takes the Revelator and just takes it off the table, just kind of slowly tucks it into his pocket.
Isn't it like a jar?
It's about a bottle. It's the size of a
Yeah.
bottle.
I'm a 7-foot tall beast man. I got big pockets.
It's a good thing you're not
Alright.
playing a beast woman. They don't have pockets in their clothes.
Geez, yeah. That'd be the worst.
So how much corruption now does Rufio have?
This is his first point, actually. Because
Oh.
luckily he's been hanging out with Sister Mariana a lot.
So you didn't have any basics
Yes,
due to
luckily.
simply being a mutant.
No, the scabby archetype that I am, all of his mutations are actually due to like environmental mutations, really. They
Yeah.
aren't related to chaos corruption.
Excellent.
Not that the Imperium realizes there's a difference.
All the same to us.
Yep.
Right.
So not being involved in depth conversation happening, could I have noticed him pocket the Revelator?
Yeah, you do. I don't think Rufio is trying to be sneaky about it, but you do see him
Not really.
nonchalantly kind of pocket it and keep it close to him.
Mental note.
Okay, so I'm just writing everything down so I remember.
Good. Well, while you're writing that down, the rest of us can roleplay for a second.
Yeah.
Well, Weird's not very talkative. Sister Mariana.
Yes.
Would there be any possibility of your order giving us an astropath of sorts? I think it would be most prudent to take a stealthy approach to heading towards Lord Veroni's ship. I think we would agree to that. But having an astropath that may be able to communicate from a distance in case of an emergency or something else may be useful. Are there any safe psychers, perhaps, or anything like that? What do you think?
There are, in fact, 0 safe psychers. We
Good
may
point.
have some that we could utilize.
The bell on the servitor in the room rings, and then it floats over to the table that you're sat at. A message from the archivist. You have been given a time for your transport. You have 10 hours from now from the main spaceport. The ship you are to travel on is known as the Fire Raven. It is a ship which is carrying servants of the Choir of the Eternal Passion. You will be given appropriate documentation by the archivist, giving you passage there. You are to maintain your appearance as mourners who arrived on the world to inter into a tomb their once great leader. You are, after this, returning back to the world of Enoch. That is all.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to get Mourner's clothes.
I think our robes that we have should suffice.
Okay.
You know, maybe we can dye them black, than they are.
Well, they're definitely not white. That's
Indeed.
okay.
10 hours. That's gonna be quite some time. We should find a safe place to go and keep this revelator. And Rufio just pats his pocket a little bit. Keep this revelator safe and away from others. We don't want its undue and insidious whispers affecting anyone else while we're still here.
Did you say anyone else, Mr. Rufio?
Yes. I mentioned before that I heard something from it.
Are you being affected by the whispers?
I was. Hours ago.
Hmm. Okay.
Now, this library is quiet, but due to its relationship with the Adeptus Sororitas, there could be some inquisitorial spies, contacts, watchers, if you will, here. Maybe we want to move somewhere else for the remaining hours. What do you think?
Well, we have the abode of our dear departed guide. I don't believe anybody else is using that.
Yes, the shack on the outskirts of town. Yeah, it could drive us there. If this the car might make it there. I'm not exactly sure. It's in rough shape.
It's a work in progress. We can make it work. Even if it only takes us halfway, it gets us there halfway.
Indeed. Weird. Do you have any approbation, insight, head nods? Just want to include you. You know, you've saved us so many times. Want to make sure we get your insight.
He's a deep conversationalist.
I know.
He doesn't like small talk. All right. Yeah, let's head on over that way. We should probably also make sure we have food.
Yeah, you will be quite hungry at this point. I think it's safe to assume you've been working all day. I think the last meal you mostly would have been at was the mushroom gruel that you had.
I also have wounds, so.
Yes, you do need to rest your wounds. You've not had any chance. You are in dire need of food and rest. So the best place to find food is obviously heading back out into the main city, and obviously being careful, because obviously there are those gangsters that you had a run-in with before, and possibly anyone that might know that you had been into the mausoleum that you fought against as you were going there. And of course, whether there's any of Mendax's own agents on the world, because I mean, you have no idea what's going on.
Indeed. Well, I'm not sure I should be carrying this revelator into any really crowded areas. We don't really know what effects it might have. Maybe we should split up. Two of you go get the food, and me and someone else stay in a quieter location. Maybe head back to the house.
Get takeout.
I will stay with Mr. Rufio.
All right, very good. I appreciate
Keep
it,
an eye
Sister
on
Mariana.
All right, so you guys
So-
will head back to the abode, and Weir and I will go get food.
Yeah, here, you can have the keys to the car.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to want to get back faster, so I'm just figuring it's probably better. You know how to drive, right? Or Weir probably does, if no one else.
I mean, I'm learning, and I watched him, so sure, we'll give it a shot.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you agree on your course of plan. You get up from the table. You blow out the candles. The servitor obviously, goes about picking up anything or tidying things. You unlock the door and you head out past the queue of people that obviously are still there waiting to use the library services. But of course the bell finally rings and everyone that's been waiting there for 2 hours, with a sigh are turned away and trudge out of the library. And you of course follow them out through the Gothic archways of the main door into the rain slick streets of Barrister. And where did you park, actually? Where did you park the vehicle?
I think it was crookedly parked in the handicap spot outside. Not that the Imperium has those, but maybe the loading dock. We crookedly parked in front of the loading dock.
You parked somewhere on the street outside, and as you are on the steps looking down as people filter out of the building, you can all make an observation test. Perception roll, I guess, is what I'm asking for.
Oh, awareness?
Awareness, that's the one.
Okay. Awesome.
That's a solid 2 icons. Whoa.
I got 3 icons and a exalted icon on my wrath die.
Okay, I think you can shift that into the glory pool.
I would like to do that.
I got 4 icons and a 1 on my wrath die.
Oh, excellent. Right.
Oh, pretty bird.
I just had 3.
So as you come out of the building, obviously, Sister Mariana, you have a traditional Adeptus Aureatus haircut, do you not?
Correct.
So the typical kind of mid-length hair. Is it white or black or anything like that?
It is blonde to the point of almost being white.
Yes. Yeah, and you basically forget to put your hood back up to disguise the fact that you are quite, your the way your hair is styled and everything is quite obviously one of the Sisters of Battle. Plus you most probably have some facial markings,
I have
maybe a small
some
tattoo
facial
also.
tattoos that are artfully covered by smudges of dust and grime.
And
gross
those
stuff.
of you who obviously did notice, there are some what look like you could only imagine are members of some priesthood, next to the vehicle, next to Diomedes' skull-covered vehicle. And as you come out, one of the people who's just also filtered out of the building is briefly chats them and then points back up into the librarium and in your direction. And of course, the people that are discussing with this other local, they look in your direction and seem to immediately recognize you. There's about a half dozen of them in total, and they start moving towards you. Don't worry, there's like a throng of people before you. Like they've literally just turfed out a good 100 people from the building who've been queuing for hours and hours for documents from the librarium. You could easily lose yourself in the crowd.
Yeah, and I mean, surely there's other Sisters of Battle leaving this library.
There's Adeptus Aureatus on guard
Yeah.
at the door.
So yeah, if we do in fact notice them and they're coming at us, lady, gentleman, Rufio, I suggest we make our escape with the crowd.
Okay, you are going to have to make a stealth roll with the crowd. We'll say the crowd gives you +2 bonus on that.
Oof.
Is this considered an urban area?
Yes.
Okay, good, because my roll was just horrifically bad. But I can use the Hive Explorer for an extra 2 dice on this. Okay, that's good. That's good. I got got 2 icons and a 1 on the wrath die.
Wow. Okay. They got 5 successes with a 6 on the wrath die. We got loads.
7.
How much did you get? 7 successes total. Anything on the wrath die?
No, just
Nope.
nothing.
How did Danica do?
I got 2 exalted icons.
Okay. And Sister Mariana?
4 icons, nothing
4
fun or
icons.
exciting.
Okay,
on the red die.
you start following the crowd, heading into the main streets, heading down towards the main square, where the market is. And of course, the market will still be going on. If anything, will be going on right now. Is more vibrant than ever as people are turfed out from their work, so they can go buy food and to, I guess, alleviate the drudgery of their life. Let's see. Let me just scroll through. So yes, you head down to Memento Square. As I described in previous sessions, Memento Square is known for the skulls and bones of the leaders that were used to create this square. They're literally littered amongst the cobbles. You are treading on on the faces of heretics. And as you roam through it, obviously the people following you keep telling you where you lose yourself in the crowd quite easily. You are like a shadow already. Danica, though, and Sister Mariana, they've got your tail. And Rufio, how many successes did you get in total again?
2 icons.
2 icons.
And a 1 on the wrath die. And I'm 7 feet tall.
It turns out a 7-foot-tall mutant is really hard to blend in.
You are looking over your shoulder, trying to get away, heading through under the tarpaulin of all the various stalls and stands that are selling all various types of holy relics and trinkets and food and so forth. When you bump directly into Kalia from earlier, who you stole the key from to get into the mausoleum. It's you! I've been looking for you all day! You took my key! How dare you! You look down. Obviously, you're a good foot or more taller than her. Do you think you don't get away from me too easily? And she already has a hand at a belt and has pointed at you a stub-nosed stub gun.
Pointed at me?
Yeah. I don't take thieves lightly, and I don't think, and she raised her voice, I don't think anyone in this market likes a thief.
Any chance?
Nor one like you.
Any chance I can be lingering?
Potentially so, yeah.
Any chance I can just stab her?
Wow. Well,
Probably not
she
stealthily, since she's like raising a fuss
she's
and
making
drawing
a
attention.
she is making a scene, and those priests, those monks, whoever they are getting ever so closer to Rufio, who of course who's carrying the Revelator currently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is Rufio? Yes. I'm going to spend a point of ruin.
All right, great.
Where'd you get a point of ruin?
I start with ruin. I always start with points of ruin.
I also gave him 1 right now.
Did it carry over from last time? Because I gave him 1 last time too.
Oh.
It doesn't carry over, but it stays there. But yes, Rufio, you can hear whispering, a dark tongue in the back of your head. Yes, he's a thief. He's a liar. He's a mutant. heretic, heretic. And everyone's looking at you. You're uncertain whether they can hear the same thing. The rain is pouring down. The shadows are longer. The candles are flickering.
I'm running. I'm just going through the alleyways.
You don't need to roll for it. You charge straight past Kalia. A shot goes off. She clearly shoots some poor merchant nearby who falls to the ground screaming in pain. And you're running through the crowd. And the monks who have been chasing you pursue. Right. What are we going to use for a chase scene here?
Can I find like a cart or something to push in their way?
Yeah, there could be a cart full of skulls.
I'm totally fine with pushing a cart full of skulls in their way.
You have wrath, right? You can use wrath to make a narrative declaration.
Yeah,
Spend
make a
point of
narrative
wrath, hey?
declaration.
Oh yeah, I will use wrath to make a narrative declaration then.
Cool. You overturn you literally push the blocks out that hold a cart of skulls still, and they just spill out in front of the priests that were following them, and some trip over as if it was like marbles or something. And you realize as one falls over, stumbling, you realize the person that stumbles over doesn't seem very, there's something off about them, not very human or aware of them. And I'm going to let Danica can make an awareness roll.
If nobody stops her, Sister Mariana is going to chase after Rufio.
I got one icon and one exalted icon. So
okay, that's enough. Total. Yeah. As they get themselves up again, stumbling, you see that their feet are bare. There are numerous cybernetic or metics implants up their legs, and they're wearing very long robes. And for a moment, you see falling out from one of the arms of it a bundle of mechadendrites.
For players' sake, what is that?
A mechadendrite is basically a long mechanical like appendage. So tech priests have them. They'll be like Dr. Octopus style kind of things. Though these ones are much smaller. They're used by tech priests to interface with things. They'll be under their robes. Sometimes they'll come out so they can interface with machinery and cogitators. But this is in place of the arm, and there's a bundle of them. And some of them end in look very bladed at the end, like cutting.
Okay, and tech priests, bad guys, right?
Well, no, tech priests are not automatically bad guys.
Yeah. ID Fortran.
Yeah,
ID Fortran's not a tech priest. I mean, he's a Skitari. But you've met tech priests before, like Magos Karbarast on Charybdis. Charybdium is a tech priest, though obviously so much of his body has been given over to machine augmentation.
Well,
okay,
but this is unusual. You wouldn't expect this. This seems, I mean, potentially it could be a tech priest, but maybe not.
Okay. Okay, so I am going to try to point, because I'm fairly certain Weir or Sister Mariana are looking at me on what to do.
I'm
Okay.
on the crowd
And point in that
observing.
direction.
Rufio, I think you need to make a athletics roll to escape. You can use your bonus for the underhive, your underhive bonus of using urban areas to try and also use it for this chase. We'll say you've got like a +2 head start on them, so they've got to get some more successes to catch up with you.
Yeah, let's do that. I also would request that I think Rufio needs to make a resolve corruption check as well.
Yes, definitely. He needs to make another corruption test.
I'll do the athletics first, because that might play into this whole.
So, my standpoint, do these look like they're servants of the Inquisitor, or do they look like they are? Are they part of the Imperium?
They certainly look part of the Imperium. Their garb and everything, and other, like, they'll have small aquila or religious icons upon them. They look like they're part of the Imperium. But then priests do not dress opulently unless they're part of the heretical church of the ecclesiarchy heretic Vandermeer from many millennia, well, thousands of years ago, who tried to who basically had the old imperial church used to be very opulent. The new imperial church since then is much more a pauper's church. So yes, anyway, Rufio
got 7 icons to run away, but also a 1 on the Wrath die.
Right.
So I think he definitely needs to go and make this this corruption check now, with no bonus. With no bonus from Sister Mariana.
Yeah.
And I got 1 icon on the corruption roll.
No, so you get another corruption point.
Yes, excellent. I mean, oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
You start running down the streets, down into the alleyways, past the crumbling and decrepit hab blocks that are built there for the masses who toil away in the graveyards and in the mausoleums and in the corpse starch manufactorum. And of course, you run down the wrong alleyway and it's a dead end. You turn to face as this collection of priests in hooded robes approach you. Give us the revelator. It is not yours.
No, I think it is. And Rufio busts out the chain sword.
Right. As you do so, the leader of their group, or we assume the leader of the group, he whispers something almost inaudible. He whispers a simple term. I'm just going to get this lovely and right. Deprecarentur. With that, you watch as 2 of the figures with him jerkily start having almost a seizure. And as they do so, the hoods of their robes fall away. And you watch as the mechadendrites in their robes unfurl fully and begin to crackle into life. You realize in terror, they're archoflagellants. They are sinners and heretics and criminals of the Imperium who, for their crimes, have been turned into mindless drones for really anyone that wants to do it, but mainly for the Church of the Adeptus Ministorum. They are a form of divine retribution, but also they can be used as combat servitors by any who wish to acquire them.
Wait, shit, the church is after us now? Okay. Rufio rethinks what he's doing.
Rufio has the initiative to do something, so you can do what you want.
Okay. Is there like a fire escape above me? Or something similar?
No.
There is literally nothing. I'm literally just in a
dead end.
A dead end with 3 perfectly flat walls that cannot be climbed up.
I mean, you could climb, but it's not going to be easy.
Okay. This is a 6-on-1 situation. Probably not the best. Rufio's just going to try to bulldoze through these guys and start running away in a different direction.
Yep. Okay. You can you're doing a move forward to charge into combat. There is a bonus for charging, isn't there?
Probably.
There is. I need to navigate this I've opened this up in the wrong, opened it up in the wrong PDF reader, so I don't get all the nice things. I scroll through the combat section. I guess everyone else is chasing after where Rufio went, and so we'll be arriving in a turn or so's time, because Rufio runs quite quickly. Yes, let me just get to combat.
I'm speed 8. What's everyone else's speed? Just so we know.
6.
Yeah, you're a lot faster.
Yeah. It's because I'm 7 feet tall. Long legs.
Yeah, long legs. Right, combat bonuses. Here we go. You haven't got any wounds on you?
Nope. Well, actually, no. I don't, somehow.
That's good.
Everyone else is wounded.
Just for Mariana.
I'm about to be wounded. Let's see what happens here. Rufio stares him down, and with his hoofed feet starts to, drag it across the ground as he gets ready to charge.
Yeah, you basically can run forward at full pelt. You'll get a +1 bonus to the attack test. So you're attacking one of these arcoflagellants that's before you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really just trying to get through, so...
They're mechadendrites that are flailing around them already are literally shredding the robes that they're wearing, revealing their emaciated forms. So what's happened to them, for people that don't know, an arcoflagellant has kind of like a visor over their face because they're inputted constantly when they're not in kill mode. Canticles of the Imperium, they're mindless killers that they've been turned into. Then they'll be augmented in various ways. They'll have stimulants being pumped into them, and then they'll have various ports on their bodies to put more stimulants and various other chemicals, and also to feed them. Then their arms are basically chopped off here and replaced with essentially these mechanical whips that end in blades and electrical shockers and small buzzsaws. They are horrific to behold.
Indeed. So I'm going to make a weapon skill roll, basically as this charge, and hopefully I can get 2 exalted icons to be able to do my dirty fighter talent. Let's see what happens, everyone. And there are 2 exalted icons, so I get 5 icons total, and I want to shift 2 of those exalted icons to...
Well, it's got a defense of 3, remember, for this. So you've got to still maintain 3 total.
I don't care about doing damage. I just want to shift the exalted icons to knock prone this guy I'm charging past. So I knock him prone and just keep going.
So you're knocking prone as a result of your attack, but of course you're using your chainsword. So that's the end result will be they will be prone as a result of your attack. But you still get to do your chainsword attack against him. Okay. He has got a total resilience of 4, so you should be able to do a fair amount of damage.
Yes. I just have to roll the extra damage dice, and it's going to be 11 damage.
Wow, okay, 11 damage. And I said its resilience is 4. So yes, the chainsword... the chainsword just eviscerates it in half. But as it does so, it gets a special thing, which is redemption in death. When an arcoflagellant dies, it makes a final all-out attack against the target it's engaged with, if possible. So as you're charging towards it, it begins to just lash you with its arcoflails. It's a all-out attack, which I can't. Let's see. Gets a bonus +2 dice to melee attacks. It has no defense on the start of its next turn. Well, it's dead anyway, so let's have some fun.
That's fine. Does it take any sort of penalty for being prone?
It will be. We'll say it won't get it doesn't get the all-out attack bonus because you're kind of doing it as it's doing this as you slice it in half. What else is there? Its attack its weapon skill there is. What's your defense?
2.
2.
Not
Ooh,
a whole
that's-
lot.
Okay, so it's definitely hit, and it got a critical hit. So
Perfect.
perfect. It also gets while the pacifier helm is active, the arcoflagellant effectively is a non-combatant and will shuffle around blissfully in ignorant state unless commanded to do things. When it is in its frenzied state, it gets +1 strength as well. So these attacks are at 10 plus 4 ED plus its strength. So it's at 13. And I also have its critical. So I'll roll its extra damage dice, which is 1 extra damage. That's in total then 14 damage with -2 AP. What's your armor?
5.
5. So you get 3 armor. So that takes it down to 11 damage.
Okay. Does my base resilience play into this at all?
Yes, as well. Your resilience also applies into that. So now minus off your minus off. So what's your total resilience with your armor?
It is 10.
10. So we minus off 2 for that. So it's 8. So 8 off 14. So you take therefore 6 points of damage.
I'm still alive.
Still alive. You can always make a do a what is it? Shock the shock thing. The grit determination. That's one. But also it does agonizing on its attacks. So let me just check what agonizing does as you're being flayed by these electrical whips, which is totally cool. Oh, and it's a critical. It was a critical hit as well. So let me just roll D66 on the critical.
Let's get ready for that.
I'm really sorry for whatever happens. It's a 51.
Oh.
It's an overpowering assault. The stunning blow sends the foe lurching away, senses blurred by the brutal impact. You suffer 1d6 shock and are staggered. So you take 2 shock already, along with whatever you do with your determination. And the agonizing weapons means every wound inflicted by an agonizing weapon also inflicts 1 shock. So you've got 8 shock dealt to you already.
All right, I'm shocked. I'm down.
Yeah, so that means you're exhausted, which gives you penalties. But we're going to say you've charged through the pack of people because they thought a single arcoflagellant would stop someone, but no, you just literally charged through a spray of gore hitting the other people as this arcoflagellant's flailing away lands in 2 clean halves on the cobbled streets of Barastir. You are running panicked most probably at this point, with pain coursing through your body from all of the attacks from the arcoflails as you burst out of the alleyway where Sister Mariana, Darnica, and I'm sure Weir watch you running out, being chased by another arcoflagellant and 4 other of these monks. What do you guys make of this?
I make that I still have an incredibly high stealth roll, and I'm going to try to take out the monks that are chasing him.
I'm going to assume at this point, Weir has mostly made himself very well placed on top of the roofs of hab blocks.
I've made that a habit, yes.
Yes, you've gone full Batman mode again, and you are mostly setting off, tailing them, jumping. So I just need you to make an athletics roll to represent you jumping from hab block to hab block.
Hoarding a cat. All right. That is 3 salted icons and an icon on the wrath die. So
it's fine. Yeah, let's give everyone an extra glory point in there. Right, so you're giving chase, and then let's see. I'm just determination. I'm just checking if there's anything else with shock. Yes, you start with 0 shock. You become exhausted, and the effect of exhausted is you are weary from battle. On your turn, you can only walk or crawl. So you're walking slowly from the fight, Rufio. You've charged, you ran, but you're slowing down due to the pain.
Oh, yeah.
So you're in the open
Oh, yeah.
street as an arcoflagellant is about to land upon you. You can't make any more determination rolls. Any shock you suffer is immediately as mortal wounds. Certain circumstances directly inflict exhaustion. If you're exhausted from any source, yeah, that's basically it. So it doesn't influence your rolls, but you are not able to do. You're not able to. You can only walk or make basic combat actions now. Anyway. Everyone else is following, watching this group of people run out. What is Danica or Sister Mariana about to do?
Sister Mariana, would you like to go first?
Absolutely.
Oh, she's going to whip out the bolt gun and bolt pistol and shoot everyone?
Just the flagellant who's after her mutant.
Yeah, you can go for the arcoflagellant. The arcoflagellant, I can happily say, is not going to have any defense because its action in a moment will be an all-out attack on Rufio, and you're shooting it in the back.
She's going to, since she's not moving, she's going to use her movement action to aim, which will give her a bonus die.
Excellent.
And then she will, take the 3-point stance, just blow him right away.
Yep. And it's a bolt gun, which is a bolt pistol, which is, of course, lovely. Yeah, so just roll to hit.
So that's 7 icons.
Wow.
Got a couple of 6s, nothing fun on the wrath die, sorry.
Have you got any 6s? You can shift those to extra damage dice.
Oh, in fact, I got 2 6s.
So shift them into damage.
That's a good plan. And the bolt pistol normally does
something like 10.
10 damage with 1 ED, so this is going to be 3 extra dice.
Yep, and I think it's also a brutal weapon. So
it is a brutal weapon.
You will be inflicting damage on a 3 and 4 and 2 points of extra damage on a 5 and a 6. So roll your extra damage dice.
Well, I got a 6, a 5, and a 3, so that's 5 additional points of damage for a total of 15.
15, yeah. And of course, this thing has no armor whatsoever. And yes, the bolt gun, rattles out a staccato of gunshots, each one of the mass reactive bolt rounds slamming into the arcoflagellant and shreds it into multiple pieces.
That's my mutant.
The monks who are giving chase, who have clearly drawn things like auto pistols and stub guns to blend in with the crowd, I guess, and they're also bearing crude close combat weapons of some form, like rusty pipes and clubs, hear the gunshots and stop as they're about to approach Rufio and looking your direction. I'm gonna let one of them go for Rufio because obviously he's in an all-out attack.
Just dragging my chainsword behind me as I struggle to move forward.
What is Rufio's defense? 2.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is, it just barely hits you. And then the strength on this club is going to be, let's find it. It's something like an Imperial Citizen that we're using for this.
What are the rules for the schlubbiest schlub in the game?
Yeah, right. Basic Imperial Citizen. Humans aren't ever that powerful. Someday you will face a Chaos Space Marine, trust me, and you will be terrified and cry. Let me see. There we go. Imperial Citizen with a... Does it have anything there? No. Let's assume 5, 6, 7. Let's just do 6... 3. Yeah, I'll do that. What? And Rufio's resilience total was something like, what, 8?
10. It was 10, but I've exceeded my shock now. Does that have any effect on my...
No, you're still fine with that.
Oh,
you're still fine with that. Oh, why am I rolling that as that? Rolling that. No, you don't take any damage. Your tough hide and your armor, your carapace or flak armor, there's you barely feel kind of like the rusting nails on this club kind of penetrate a bit into your armor, but you've had worse in the hives of Necromunda. You don't care. You just turn around and kind of snarl, annoyed more than anything.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I just remembered something. We don't have our armor with us, do we?
No, we don't.
In this thing.
Oh, we don't actually, no.
That means Rufio's down now. Rufio's taken his full wounds at this point.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're down for the count then.
Yep.
Okay.
Right now, you see him fall over.
Well, then instead, you get smacked across the head and you collapse, bleeding, which has some impact. Let's just see what that means, taking that much damage. So you've taken more. You've exceeded all your wounds.
Correct.
Let me get to this. I'll be glad once I've got a copy of this book printed.
Damage and dying is on 193.
Thank you. 193.
Dying is actually on, 194 maybe?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, wounds. If you've suffered any wounds, +1 difficulty on everything. Dying, if you suffer more wounds than your maximum wounds, you are dying. You're on the verge of expiration. You're unable to move or fight properly. When you are dying, you immediately suffer a memorable injury and fall prone. You cannot stand up while you are dying. Whenever you take any amount of damage that would cause you to suffer a wound while dying, you suffer traumatic injury instead. If you suffer more traumatic injuries than your tier, which is +1, which is therefore 2. 3. You may roll determination when you take damage while dying. If you use determination to reduce any damage to 0, you do not suffer a traumatic injury. So we need to roll for a memorable scar. Roll d6.
I got a 5, which is Twitch.
Yeah.
He's gonna have.
Got a bum knee.
Yeah. Do I want to take an arrow to the knee?
His face just twitches a lot.
Maybe. I'm gonna say his shoulder just twitches sometimes.
Excellent. But you fall almost you are unconscious, bleeding profusely on the ground as this priest is or appears to be a priest, is clubbing you apparently to death, ready to grab the revelator. However, they've also just seen Sister Mariana blow apart the arcoflagellant. Danica, what do you want to do? You've also got a bolt pistol.
I do, and I'm going to use it to shoot the one that is trying to grab the relic.
Go on then. Do you want to just stand there and take aim?
Yep.
Excellent.
All right, so that is my ballistics. I got 2 successes. And I got an exalted icon.
Okay, so it's a critical hit as well. You hit. And you can figure out your damage, which we said is 10 plus... how many extra damage was it? 2 ED? On a bolt pistol? I think it's plus 2 1. EDs. +1. So just roll 1 extra damage die.
All right. Oh, I got an exalted icon on that one.
Okay, so that means it does 12 points of damage in total. I can trust me that poor priest has just taken a solid slug to the chest and is mostly dead. But we're going to find out what the critical hit is as well, because we love critical hits in this game because they're so colourful. Roll a d66.
All right. We got a 15.
15. Oh, wow. Is it really a 15? It's a headshot. A well-aimed shot tears ragged chunks of bone and brain from the opponent's skull.
Beautiful.
The foe reels from the violent shock. They suffer plus 1d3 wounds and are staggered. And if you spend a point of glory, they take an extra wound. So you're already doing loads. Yeah, I think at this point you hit them with a bolt gun round to the head. So rather than just them falling dead as their chest is a huge chunk taken out, you blow their entire skull off their head.
Nobody touches my mutants.
At which point I think it's safe to say the other priests or monks or whoever they are, the attackers, are going to turn tail.
Are they though? Are they
Oh
though?
no. They start running, but of course, Weir is going to leap down upon them.
Yeah, there's 3 left.
Surprise attack. Yeah, there's like 1, 2. Yeah, there's like 3 left.
That is 7.
That's definitely a hit.
So for multi-attack, do I roll 3 attacks and then damage once, or I do 1 attack, 1 damage roll?
Yes. One of those things is correct.
What are you asking here?
So if on a multi-attack, on a multi-attack it says you only roll damage once and apply it to all targets, but I don't know how many times I roll attack roll.
Okay, multi-attack allows you to target multiple enemies with a melee increasing the DM by +2 for each additional target. Roll damage once to apply that damage to all targets. You roll once.
Okay, so that's 7 icons total. Some of them were exalted, but nothing on just the normal
and
icon. And
remember, it's an attack roll against the multiple targets, which is 3 of them.
Yes.
So the difficulty number of the attack would be they'll only have a base defense of 2, +2 for each additional target, which makes 6. So you hit all. You hit. And
I negate that. I reduce the DN by 2 for having dual wield, and then I also reduce it per form of death.
Okay.
So
and it's not a critical hit.
It's not, but
shame.
My power blades do a base of 5. I get 4 extra damage dice, and then I get to add my entire stealth score because I'm attacking out of stealth, which is 7.
You add your strength as basic to these weapons as well.
As basic damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is basic is 8. I roll 11 extra damage dice.
Ten. You descend and you are like a dervish. You slice through them, the crackling power blades, rending limbs and body parts apart. They collapse dead. There is obviously a lot of screaming as this happens, and lights are going on in all the blocks, and there is an alarm being sounded. There is the ringing of a bell.
Can I not kill one of them?
Not with that roll.
Not with that roll, no. You would have had to said beforehand, I was going to capture one.
Okay.
No.
Oh, well, they're dead. I just... And then... I'm just going to vanish again.
Right, so with... I imagine that Danica and Sister Mariana are going to go over and pick up Rufio, and you're going to try and flee somewhere. You're heading back to Diomedes' shack, I guess.
The only safe location I could think of in town.
Yep.
So, Sister Mariana's open to other suggestions. No.
No, I think this is the safest for us to do.
Yeah, and you make your way back to the shack. It takes you some time dodging the city watch as it's out looking for the culprits of this horrific murder, this fight that's going on within the city.
Yeah, can Bryce and Crystal describe how they're carrying this giant 7-foot-tall beast man? Just out of curiosity. I think it'd be flavorful.
So it's that thing where you put your hand on your elbow and you grab the other person's elbow and they grab your elbow and they make a little chair.
Oh yeah, good one.
Yeah.
And my big arms just kind of draped over your shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like,
exactly.
Perfect. I like it.
Wonderful.
Excellent. And yes, you make your way to the hovel that's obviously leaking in places and is filled with all of Diomedes' equipment and various things he's stolen or claimed, and that he was working on, because he was a bit of a tech savant of some sort. And you look around to make sure that you're not being followed, and you find somewhere to rest Rufio. And looking around, you do find some rations that Diomedes has. They're foil wrapped blocks, about yay big, with the Imperial Eagle upon them, stamping that they are from Daedalus, and of course they are blocks of corpse starch. They are tasteless, nutritious food, obviously made from the bodies of Imperial citizens that have been blessed and turned into food. Such is the life in the Imperium.
So
and you're
Grey
able
is
to
made of people.
Yeah, exactly. You're able to rest, and I think this is important. Where we find out for the first time, how do you rest and heal? So let's see about that.
I have the Medicae skill, so I can perform a difficulty number 3 Medicae test to restore a wound to a character. Every
yes.
shifted exalted icon on a Medicae test to restore a wound restores 1 additional wound.
And that's what you're going to do for Rufio.
We can only do that during a regroup.
And that's what's happening right now.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Get another done. Okay, that is 1 icon and 1 exalted icon for a total of 3 icons. I will shift the exalted icon over. Actually, you know what? I'm going to spend 1 of my points of wrath to re-roll the two. Wait. What was the target number that I say? 3? Yeah, difficulty number 3.
Why? What page is that on?
That is on page 124 of the PDF. Heal wounds.
Okay. And
Right-hand column.
And how much does it say you heal? Because it says if you have a Medicae rating, you can heal a single character during the regroup. They gain wounds equal to your Medicae dice pool rating. So
that is during a regroup.
Yeah. Which is what you're doing currently, plus resting. So, so we'll say you just.
Okay. So the first is if you do it during as a combat action, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
So in other words, you can heal wounds equal to Medicae plus anything you shift.
Oh, okay.
We'll say.
Even better. Well, in that case, I will heal him for a total of 5 wounds.
Awesome.
Sweet.
How's everybody else doing?
I only have 1 left before I hit my max.
So you feel like you could use some healing? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. I'll roll for.
Okay. In fact, also it means because it's not just a regroup. A regroup is approximately 1 hour. This is a respite because you've got 2 hours of rest at least. Oh no, respite is a long period of downtime lasting at least 6 hours. It depends. It's up to you if you want to. You can spend 1 to 2 hours performing light activities. So essentially, you'll be checking your guns because obviously you've been chased. You'll be cleaning something. If respite goes uninterrupted over that entire 6 hours, which I don't know. I think you're going to be too wary of wanting to rest that long. If you have a full 6 hours rest, your shock and wounds are reduced to 0, and your wrath points reset to 2. Yeah. So, yeah. You. I think what Chigg's done is right on the healing. That's all you're really going to achieve. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. It does specify a single character.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I went for the one who was dead, not the one who was almost dead. Nothing against Weird.
We have to wait 9 hours now, give or take.
Give or take about 9 hours. Yeah,
And
you've got
there's
9
some food
hours
here.
So you've got a bit of food there.
Nothing
But
better
the
to
question
do.
is, can you stay there too long? Is the other question.
Can they track Diomedes' car's license plate to this hovel?
No, but it
I don't
depends
think
if
so.
they.
License plates on this planet?
It
Yeah, they
depends
have
if
to.
anyone knew Diomedes that well.
Yeah, they might find this place eventually. I mean, my character's just totally exhausted. You know, his shock is at the max. His intestines have been stapled back in by Sister Mariana. Thank you very much, Sister Mariana, by the way. But I'm in pretty rough shape. Seems like Weir's in rough shape. I mean, we could try to just move around, rest for an hour, move around, rest for an hour, that sort of thing.
Well, while you think about that, I think this is a natural point to have a brief break, and then we will be back
Sounds
for the
good.
final of the scenario of the adventure.
Good
Cool.
deal.
And with that, we'll see you in a bit, I guess.
Don't go anywhere.
And we're back, and everyone is resting in Diomedes' shack in Barastir, nursing their wounds. They've been patched up. What are they going to do to get off world? They're waiting for a ship to land, the Fire Raven, to take them away from this world, and from there, hopefully find safe passage back to the rest of the Veronius fleet. So what's going on? What are you going to do? Is someone keeping watch? You never know who might be
Rufio
looking
sure
around.
isn't.
I probably would if I had
I
paranoia.
don't think that you would
Yeah.
because you're very, very, very wounded.
I am, but I'm also very, very paranoid.
Yeah, he is paranoid. Okay. So in the main living room, or whatever this main room of
Workshop.
this hovel is,
Yeah.
Rufio, still pretty bloodied, turns to Commissar Danica and says, "Okay, I think we should rest here for an hour. Then we move to a new location somewhere, back alley, abandoned home, something like that. Rest there for an hour and just keep moving. See what we can do to keep these, whoever they are, off us until we can get to the ship." We at least need to ditch this place because they saw the car. They're hanging out by it. They might be able to trace it back here.
Yes, I agree. I feel like we should rest here, or find a place to rest a little longer than an hour, though.
Sure. I'm not going to argue. Do you know how to get blood out of fur, by the way?
Yes.
White vinegar.
I'm sure Rufio actually knows this pretty well.
I'm all for staying holed up here for a while longer. Nobody seems to have found us yet. It's as quiet a neighborhood as we are likely to find on this in this city. Weir, it has good lines of sight, yes? She looks up to Weir in the window.
Sure,
Yeah,
but
I think at least here we should rest a little longer, and then we can, because we know this place a little better.
My tactical assessment is that they could just be gathering more forces, getting more of those arcoflagellants, and gathering a posse to come get us.
That's entirely possible, but
I mean, some of them did escape, so
they
I would
have to
recommend
come-
moving
they would have to
location as soon
come
as
in
possible.
here to get us. If we go out onto the streets, they just have to find us in an alleyway and corner us. That
Mhm.
appears to be much easier to do than it is while we're here holed up. Is there anything in the this is a question to the GM, is there anything in here that we could use to, like barricade the doors or board up the windows or anything?
The windows are pretty much boarded up anyway because let me just remind us what Diomedes' shanty is like. It's a filthy lean-to composed of bone and strap, and the door, you knew this before you went in, is locked, but also is rigged, can be re-rigged with a shotgun to fire. So you can set it up. You can booby trap the place if you wanted, when you leave it. So yes, you can do that. Inside is strewn various broken servo skulls, and there is some ammo there. So you might be able to if you need to find some ammo, you won't be able to find anything for bolt guns, but you can find stuff for more basic weapons like auto pistols, shotguns, and so forth. Remember, you also picked up from Diomedes, you do have some frag grenades, you have his hand cannon, and a shotgun.
What is the approach to?
So the shanty, the approach to it is the shanty will be, let's think. The shanty will be near some large kind of like the last place where all waste and rubbish kind of ends up. So it's near some great big, well, what would have been a pit and is now obviously a towering pile of scrap, which obviously he is near to at the edge of the city because it's the best place to find anything that he can reuse. Because adjoining the shanty, remember, is a collapsed sepulchre spire that he uses at what would be the garage for his vehicle, his automobile, which of course you've left behind outside on the steps of the librarium.
So they might still think that we are going to go back for the car too.
Maybe, he says with his twitching shoulder, brand new twitching shoulder.
I think that we should stay here a little longer, and then the rest of the places will stay shorter. Because we are more familiar with this area. Not by much, but more than anything else.
And of course, it'll give me a chance to look over Weir's injuries. Maybe help him get a little bit sturdier on his feet.
Yeah.
Sure.
Weir can make an awareness test if you're sat outside, mostly on top of the collapsed sepulchre, keeping watch.
A little bit, yeah. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 6.
6. Okay.
How many wounds do I regain from a longer rest?
If we do a full longer
rest has to be full 6 hours,
Oh.
so you're not able yet. There we go. That's what I wanted to find. What's that dice roll? Yes, where you are able to spot that there are some people lurking on the top of the hab blocks at the edge of the city, and you catch the glint of some sort of scope or like binoculars or something like that, as they're seemingly looking down onto the shanty.
I'm probably in a position where I can get back into it pretty easily without being seen. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to swing back inside. Just like, let's go.
All right, we're called it. Let's move.
All right.
Does anyone want to rig anything up? Do you want to rig up the shotgun?
Mariana will rig up the shotgun on their way out. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
let's do that.
Do you want to rig up anything else? I mean, Diomedes is not coming back. You've got everything you need from it. You could rig it up with quite a few explosives.
I mean, let's use as much as we can.
There is likely also a barrel of promethium, which Diomedes would use as fuel for his vehicle. That is there in the garage. You could quite happily set it all up on a timer or a tripwire. You could go full A-team on it and just set it up so it will blow.
Can we set it up so that when they open the door, it triggers the shotgun to blow up the thing of fuel?
You could trigger it up for both, yeah. I mean,
let's do that.
Yeah. So if you can make tech rolls, whoever's going to do that can make tech rolls to rig the place.
Who's got good tech? I have a 4-die pool.
I have 3 in tech.
I know what tech is.
right.
I'm
What about
familiar with its
what about Weir?
existence.
Weir's got to be good at this.
Weir, what's your check?
All right.
Yeah.
Big
All
fat
right.
0.
So it's
Like,
Rufio and I.
okay.
This was never in the training manual at the school, was it, Danica?
No, it was not. But we were taught
Actually,
to
no,
think on our feet.
Trip mines were, yeah, with the grenades.
I got a 1 on the raft
No.
die and no success.
Oh,
I got 3 icons. So,
okay. I'm gonna assume that Danica's setting the shotgun because Rufio, because setting up the grenades and everything for more high explosives is more technical. Rufio, you set all that up. As Danica, as you're rigging the shotgun, it goes off, and I'm going to roll a D3 mortal wounds that goes straight through. You take another wound straight away.
Oh.
And of course, that sound goes off. The shotgun blast is loud, and you have no idea who that may have alerted to your location.
In this little shanty, is there any drugs, any stim, any?
Interesting. There might be some obscura somewhere. Diomedes strikes me as the guy has some obscura. Actual drugs, combat drugs, stimulants. Let me just go on the lexiconum because I can't remember all the names of them of all the classics, all the classic
combat drugs.
all the classic combat drugs that exist in narcotics. There we go, combat drugs. Right. List of known stimulants. Yeah, you easily find, you do find looking around, you've had enough time in there to look around. You find something which, with a little, fingertip tasting of, you think this is likely the classic, which is known as slort. You're not too sure, so you'd earlier asked Rufio to taste it also to make sure, and Rufio confirms it's slort. Slort is common, of course, a common drug in the underhives that's made, and generally increases one's brain activity, their agility, and also offsets some injuries. So in effect, it's going to increase your speed and your toughness.
Okay.
It will give you a bonus of like +1 to your resilience and give you +1 to like your melee attacks and your speed.
Okay.
It's up to, I mean, Rufio has to be careful with this. I don't know what drugs he's used before that he might get a bit addicted to from the underhive.
Rufio doesn't. I'm taking just the slightest of a hit. Rufio doesn't do that stuff anymore. He's cleaned up his act since he's a rogue trader.
Also, everyone can make a awareness test, because obviously you would have had time to look around in the shanty, in the lean-to.
That is 3 with a exalted icon on the wrath die.
Okay, that's enough. We'll go with that. There is also hidden a escape from the building that leads into the old. It leads into tunnels underneath the city, which you can only imagine would be kind of like crypts or mausoleums or catacombs. That would have been there since they mined the city for resources to build it, and of course have interred more of the dead down there. So you can go into tunnels beneath the city.
Fine with that.
That's not a bad idea.
And it makes sense that Diomedes would have planned for everything.
Getting shot in
We
the
just need to
chest.
make sure that when we close up everything behind us, that it looks as hidden as it was before. But yeah, let's head into the tunnels.
You slip away. You take off a table a lumen lamp to light your way. Or there's maybe a couple that you can grab. They're not great. They're a bit. The battery needs to be bashed around a bit just to get it to work. But you sneak off, recovering the entrance to the tunnels, and you're in the dark and gloom of these narrow, confined tunnels beneath Barastir. As you walk for about 10 minutes or so, you hear an explosion, or you hear the rumble of it from the direction you came, and you can only presume that someone tried to get into the shanty and clearly hit the tripwire on a grenade and has gone up in smoke. But of course, you need to find your way out, and you are in the dark of the catacombs, and you have no idea what could be lurking down there.
Would trying to navigate through here be a survival rule?
Survival is good, and I think Rufio is possibly also well placed to be doing survival down in such narrow tunnels.
Yeah, especially, is this considered an urban environment?
Oh, I would say we can consider it urban environment.
Alright,
No,
good.
no, urban is on the surface. We are currently in a
Suburban.
Suburban. Oh, true.
I have 4 on my survival check.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll as well.
Just 2 icons.
Okay, you are able to
Yeah, great.
keep a sense of direction, and you're heading into the main city, hoping that you might find a way to like the sewers, and from there, out into the city itself through a manhole cover or something like that. Everyone can make an awareness test.
Oh, 4 icons.
Also 4 icons.
2 exalted icons.
And where?
Only 1 icon for me.
Okay. You round the corner into a large chamber, and it's basically an ossuary. The walls are covered in skulls. Though you also notice that there are candles flickering in the mouths of some of these, some of the skulls that are in the walls. There are small shrines, ancient writings and inscriptions to the God Emperor of mankind. You pay your respects maybe, or you keep going forward. And then you hear the click of a gun behind you. You're not going any further until you pass me attacks. You turn and you see in the flickering candlelight a misshapen form you can only imagine is some sort of muty scum that lives down in this in this undercity. His face is almost reptilian in nature, and he has 3 arms. He has some ramshackle auto gun and carrying what looks like a really heavy club. His tongue is rasping and his eyes are yellow. So, I want at least 10 credits from each of you for passing my way. This is my place. I've got an upkeep to maintain here.
Everybody, I get bonuses while talking to mutants.
Alright.
Well, let's do some role-playing first. Rufio pulls back his hood and says, hey, listen, I know it's tough down here. I know it's tough, but 10 credits.
You're a mutant like me?
Yeah, I know. It's tough being a mutie, but if you work hard, maybe one day you can get up to the surface like I have. But now I'm down here.
Sure.
And
Who's ever going to employ a person like me? I mean,
I think I've got a great personality and humor, but look at me. I've got this extra arm, and it's this arm that's a bit smaller than the others, and it's a bit twitchy and holding what looks like a small shiv.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, there's a lot of imperial aristocrats and nobles out there. They got their own weird kinks and fetishes and stuff, maybe they'll pick you up. Maybe someone will realize that, maybe a lot of the tech priests, they like having extra arms, extra hands around. Maybe they'll see that as a boon. Maybe they'll give you a fourth one. Join up with them. There's a lot of options out there. But listen, I know it's tough down here, but we're on the run by some real jerks. The kinds that are kind of hunting mutants like you and me. So how about just give you 10 creds for the total for all of us. Say, hey, have a good day.
There's 4 of you. There's 40 creds. Like, we could do a deal. 30 creds. I mean, you're a nice enough guy. I mean, maybe if you give me 40 creds, I could. You seem new to these parts. I mean, do you need a guide? I could show you around. If you go around the wrong tunnel, you could suddenly find yourself in like some old cistern. And I'm telling you, I mean, even if you live down here, the smell is horrible. There's diseases and everything. And trust me, you gotta be careful of some of the old chambers around here. There's some real freaks down here. God knows what's been growing down here. There's even, and he looks around, there's even those that speak of, I've seen the skies up there every once. I've been up above. I've seen the skies, the great rift looking down. And he kind of makes the sign of the rift. You gotta be careful of that. I mean, I pay my respects to the Emperor when I can, but it's driving everyone. It's driving everyone mad. And there's people down. They come down here and they start saying things to those we can't speak of, and I see they change in weird ways, and they start eating people. I see them eating people. There's some that take the meat. The corpse starch factory. There's some that take the meat before it's been blessed. So there's some real freaks down here.
Yeah. Well, this guy seems like a trustworthy fellow. So let's give him 40 credits, and he'll be our guide through this subterranean hellscape. Yeah, we need to get to the landing pad in 8 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, you got a bit of time. How about what we'll do? We're gonna go back to my place. It's not far from here. We'll sit down. We'll have a laugh, a bit of a drink, and then I'll take you back there. You don't want to be roaming around these spots. Some of the stuff that's down here. Oh man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Understood.
There's rats that are like this big. Oh no.
Is that his 2 large arms or his 1 large and 1 small?
Oh, he does it, and the small one's like this big. It adds it on to the tail.
The name's Grozak.
Grozak, good. That's a good emperor-fearing name right there.
Oh yeah. My mama, she gave me that name on Emperor's Day. Blessed me with that name. Follow me. Yeah. I mean, she was led into the temple as long as she hit the other eye she had, but they didn't pay her any attention. Yeah.
He leads you through the winding tunnels back to his chamber, removing some a board or something out of the way. He's got a pot of bubbling mushrooms and what corpse starch he has, and he starts to stir. And he brings out some bowls to you. Does anyone want any food?
Oh no, thank you. No. We just ate before we left our last.
Please. And he finds like a slop bucket he has, and he chucks it, empties it and turns it over to make it into a stool for someone to sit on.
It's a humble place,
and there's trinkets and things there, and There's even an old tapestry. You have no idea where he got it from, but it predates like a lot of history on this place.
Hey, where'd you get this tapestry from? Looks great.
I found it it was a tomb of some ancient hero long forgotten.
Oh yeah, I got
his
you.
name's
It fell off the back of a tomb. You don't need to say
you
anything
can
else.
see.
Yep.
I think that tall thing there is one of those god engines that walk battlefields back during like the and again he looks around during the heresy time. I'm sure it's a magnificent battle, and I look at it and I just go, boy, if I was one of those heroes in one of those great war machines, to be so important. It's just me. And as he's talking about this and describing it, his little hand is still stirring the pot of gruel. And you're there for you're there for a couple of hours, and then he eventually, will lead you to the spaceport and bids you farewell.
Thank you
Before
so
we-
much
Wait.
for your hospitality.
Unless you got anything else you want to ask.
Well,
I was actually going to see if he had any information about any sort of like hidden spots in some of the tombs that might be considered heretical.
heresy.
Like, are there any sorts of hidden spots down here that would be concerning for the God Emperor?
Oh, you basically want to know where he's seen some cults kind of
Yes.
congregate. Yeah, he tells you where they are. Like he explains where they are, where to find them, and he even draws you a little map for it.
Convenient.
That could come in handy.
Yep. That was all I wanted.
You sure? Maybe Rufio, as he's walking back with Danica, says, maybe we can take him with us. We can give him a job on the gun deck. With all the
We
the
cannot take him
servitors and
with
the-
us.
what?
We cannot take him with us.
But he's just a guy looking for a chance. And you saw his passion as he was discussing those giant machines of death, the titans that you've heard of. He wants to be a part of something bigger.
I will give him something to do.
Wow.
Oh, Danica's going to turn him into her valet. He's going to spit polish her boots until the end of time.
Danica, you're truly a gracious commissar.
Are you actually going to offer him to come with you?
I have another task that I need him to do.
Okay, go on then.
Oh, Prozac's secret agent.
I need him to collect information on if there are any tombs of any nobles on here that may have hidden areas with anything that might be concerning or damning for the family.
Interesting. And you're basically going to you're making the deal that you'll return to him in the near future.
I will return to him in the near future, and with everything that he can confirm, I will gladly pay him.
How are you going to prove this to him?
I'm going to show him my badge, my credentials.
Ooh, okay. He looks at your badge of office as a commissar, and his eyes grow wide, and he starts backing off, and his little hand gets a bit twitchy on his pistol. It's like, you're a commissar.
I am. You have continually proven your faith in the God Emperor.
You could have killed me an hour ago.
I could have, but you again have proven your faith.
Yeah.
I
She could have killed
faith.
She could have killed me weeks ago.
Yeah.
I recognize service
I
and
can
want
serve.
to give you a job, and for you to prove that I can trust you.
I'll yeah, okay. Sure. You just want me to just tell you everything I learn in the that goes down on this planet? I see a lot. Those cultists, I know where they gather. Some of them are nobles.
I do
Some
want
of
to
them
know
are
that.
priests.
And I would like proof.
Oh yeah, I can get proof. Can I ask something in return before you go?
What would you like?
And his little hand points at the shotgun that you recovered from Diomedes' body.
Can I have that? This my own shooter's a bit, gets a bit jammed, but it looks like a nice shotgun. I could use that. I gotta defend myself, and I'll be here ready for you if I have something to help myself. And a bit of ammo,
Who has the shotgun? Did I collect
Oh,
that?
maybe Rufio's got it. I don't know. Someone's got a nice shotgun on him.
Yeah, sure, Rufio's got it. I don't. Yeah, sure. It's all yours, Brozak.
Grozak just kind of looks at it and it's like,
oh, that's a smooth pump action. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mozak's not gonna know what hit him when I see him next. Yeah. Okay, right. I think well, that's great. Yeah. Well, let's get you out of here safe and sound to the spaceport. When you're back here, yeah, I'll tell you everything I learned. I'd like to get off this godforsaken planet too. I think I'd like to be somewhere a bit safer as well if possible. But why'd you have? But even credits since just more ammo is good for me.
I will make sure of that.
Anything for you, Commissar. Anything for you.
I like him. He's a nice guy.
he leads you later on off through the tunnels to the spaceport, or at least to the streets nearby. You exit from a manhole cover in an alleyway. He waves you goodbye, bids you good travels, and you are able to mingle with the other priests and pilgrims that are milling their way into the spaceport to get upon this large carryall, which is capable of carrying, let's just say, like about 1,000 people. It is huge. Obviously, they're going to be carried in the cargo hold of this ship, and it's not going to be very nice. No one pays any attention to you. You have appropriate symbols of office and so forth to get your way in, because you were hidden as pilgrims anyway. And you go past lines of Adeptus Aureatus, who act as security, and there are servitors again carrying braziers. Incense is there, and when you give the names that were expected that the archivist gave you, you're simply someone with a big data slate. Yes, you can go on. And you go off this large ramps into this huge ancient lander, and into the belly of this ancient ship, finding somewhere to sit in amongst the rest of everyone who gather in small circles. Some people are obviously making small prayer groups or have a congregation, and yes, you're just in this ancient vessel. And it takes a good hour or two for it to be fully loaded with all of the passengers. before the thunderous roar of the engines, lift, not gracefully anyway. It lurches off the spaceport landing pad into the atmosphere, and with a rumble, you have to steady yourself or sit down because it's not the greatest of all ships in the world. And finally, the Fire Raven hits zero gravity and is free from the planet of Daedalon. All you know is that this ship is now heading towards an even larger pilgrimage ship, which will take everyone back to Enoch. So you're heading towards a ship that, a very by the standards of the Veronius fleet is like a standard kind of transport ship for troops and cargo, but not very large. It would carry at most maybe about 4,000, 5,000 people or associated cargo. And of course, there are other cargo ships going up to this one, which will be carrying corpse starch and servo skulls and servitors and other wares that are produced on Daedalon to be taken to the other worlds of the Gilead system.
Yep. Well, Danica, we need to get to the rogue trader's ship. Should we just requisition this one? Do you want to go flash a badge and give a inspiring speech as you do, or should we find a different one that's going closer to?
No, let's not take this one.
Clever. You know what? I think that's a good idea.
Because I don't trust that everyone on here is who they say they are. So, yeah, we will ride this to where they need to go, and then we will requisition a ship from there.
Excellent. Okay, as the ship is in orbit, it has a bit of time before it reaches the main transport ship. There is a large clanking sound that reverberates through the hold of the ship.
That's weird.
Something is weird. It sounds like something from the outside.
Oh no. Could it be? Does it sound like boarding torpedoes?
Not boarding torpedoes,
okay.
No.
All right. Whew. Okay, I'm just a little paranoid here, a little jittery.
All right, let's move up to the front. Let's
Yeah.
move up to the helm and see.
You're going to make your way through the corridors, hoping you can get to, I guess, to some sort of porthole, so you can see outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So yeah, you're free to move between the cargo holds of the ship, and it is a large car. There are about 4 or 5 large chambers. Let's say there's six of them with corridors between them. There's also smaller chambers in between because it's been changed into a transport ship for passengers. So there's also like latrines and some sort of canteen is possibly there again. All it's going to be serving is water and corpse starch. But there are some portholes to look outside when you go to the outer edge where there's the main corridors are, and you look out the window and you see what looks like some model, some form of gun cutter that has docked with the carrier. Gun cutters are small personal transports that are capable of void travel. So they can't go into the warp, but they can certainly do space flight.
Oh yeah, we only need a space flight, but who would be docking with this pilgrim shuttle that just left orbit?
I don't know, but that ship looks mighty good to get away from here.
Concurred. All right. Do we want Weird to do some magic here?
You know what? Give Weird the idol.
Well,
because he could disappear.
No,
I
he
mean, I
doesn't
know he's
actually
stealthy,
disappear, right?
but I mean, wouldn't it be safer with me? Especially if he's gonna stealth up to the ship and you know we don't want to have it in the wrong spot.
I would much rather it be easily disappearable if somebody is on here looking for it than with a 7-foot tall mutant.
Shh, keep your voice down.
Everyone can make an awareness test.
Okay.
All right.
2 icons. Oh, and a 1 on the wrath die.
Same.
Oh, excellent.
Fantastic.
3 icons. Actually,
Three
2
icons.
icons, an exalted icon, and a 1 on the wrath die for me.
1 icon.
Yeah.
Is
Let's have
that
something
that's
terrible
2
happen.
complications? Oh wow. Okay. The lumens in the ship go dark and emergency lights come on. There is the wailing of an alarm, and you can hear what definitely sounds like las fire from the direction of where the gun cutter made dock. You can hear screams, and the complication is going to be, I think Weir and Rufio need to make corruption tests. So,
Yes.
Get
Oh,
those
I'm
bonus dice. I'm right here.
We get the bonus this. Or I get the bonus this time.
Both get the bonus.
I'm not corrupted. I got 6 icons this time.
Ooh.
Where's corrupted?
11 with with an exalted icon on the wrath die.
Oh,
all right. It's while you're looking out of the portals, you for a moment you are in danger of getting lost in the roiling madness of the Cycratix Maledictum, the pinkish hue of the tear in real space from the warp into reality. For a moment, you almost thought you could see demonic faces speaking out to you, but not quite. As you start hearing las fire, and it's getting closer. Screams are heard within the hold of the ship.
Let's make our way to the little ship and requisition us a new
Yeah.
ship.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, as you make your way down the corridor through one of the bulkhead doors, it slides open, and before you, you watch as pilgrims are cut down by soldiers armed in what can only be described as fairly ramshackle but black clothing, using what you can only think of must be hell guns. So these are las guns with hotshot power packs, cutting through people. One of them is actually brandishing what's generally known as a volley gun, which is a twin-linked las hell gun, and it's just rapidly firing through, cutting down people like a dozen at a time. And of course, moving through them are arcoflagellants.
I'm gonna make a stealth check.
Let's all just be stealthy. Let's just avoid this fight.
Yeah,
if we can.
I'm gonna try to be stealthy.
Stealth our way to the gun cutter.
I have 7 total with a 6 on the wrath die.
Okay.
Oh, good. I have 4 total.
Okay.
4 icons.
And Sister Mariana, is she going stealth?
No,
Okay.
no, not at all.
So you sneak off into you head off into one of the main cargo holds, trying to hide amongst the people and sneak past the collected kind of like cargo they most probably would have brought on board. So there's various boxes of relics and equipment or just basic items that they've bought from the planet. And you're hiding amongst the masses. But as you're hiding amongst them, obviously you're watching as about a dozen of these armed soldiers are, they've got fully enclosed helmets, are cutting down the pilgrims with their hell guns. And as they do so, the ones that aren't at the front rank of them are checking the bodies, looking for something.
Are they? Oh, sorry, I should clarify something. From the time we spent earlier resting, are we at...
Oh yeah, you're now, all your wounds and shock are gone.
Mine too.
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right, I'm going to roll for these mercenaries to see if they spot you. So, okay. Good, right. Where you're hidden, they just move, they walk past you, they don't spot you. However, Rufio and Danica, as they turn a corner, they do spot you, they start taking aim at you. They're not even bothering to ask questions. They are told to shoot to kill anything that's moving, and they are beginning to fire.
Past me and then saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just attack.
Of course.
Okay.
As that's happening, what system Mariana doing? Because you've not made the effort to hide in the cargo hold. You're in the main corridor. Are you just going to start going forward, attacking?
Yes, she's going to shoot them right in the face.
You've got a bolt pistol and a chainsword, haven't you?
That is correct.
Oh, you thumb the igniter on the chainsword, and there is a arcoflagellant before you that has just ripped apart someone. It's just constantly with its flails lashing at this person on the ground, rendering them into hunks of meat. However, you've got your bolt pistol.
I have 1, 2, 11, 12 with a crit.
$12 with a crit. Well, that's definitely a hit. Their defense is 3, so you can shift any exalted icons that you can.
So that's 3.
Yeah. Their resilience is 10 with their armor, but the AP on your weapon is
-2.
-2, so that means their resilience then is 8. So for any of the damage rolls you need to do, Sister Mariana is obviously rattling out bolt gun rounds.
Yep. Singing a nice little battle hymn at the top of her voice as she wades into this battle. So I'm going to spend a point of wrath because I didn't roll higher than a 2 on my first roll.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, was not a great roll. On the reroll, I got one icon, 2 exalted icons, and one of those exalted icons was on the wrath.
Yes.
For
Okay.
a total of 5 successes.
Well, that's definitely a hit because they have no defense because they do all-out attack. The question is damage and the critical hit type. Because God, we're rolling a lot of critical hits today. That's awesome.
Also, I have
The
20.
critical hit would be 22 on the D66 chart. Where is that?
I'm trying to get to the chart now. I'm almost there as I scroll through this PDF. I need to have some stuff.
22
Is
brutal
a
rupture.
Oh God.
Mangled flesh, crushed bone, and ruptured organs make my foe gasp in wretched pain. Target suffers plus 1d3 wounds and is hindered.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And I did 19 damage.
19 now. Yeah, okay,
And
they're
I-
dead. They're
And
dead.
I rolled a 52 for my crit.
And a 52 for your crit on them as well, which is overpowering assault, which means you send them lurching away and they suffer D6 shock, and they're dead.
Wonderful. They walk past me and they see those two, and I'm just like, bleh.
So he
Excellent.
takes 2 additional wounds in addition to the 15 damage that's coming his way.
Yeah, and that arcoflagellant is exploded in a shower of augmetics and meat that it is. But in response, obviously you're in the corridor, Sister Mariana. One of the gunner, the merc with the volley, with the hell gun, the volley gun, turns towards you, braces it, and starts shooting in your direction at full auto. Right, let's see if I can hit with this. Let me just check what that does. I don't think heavy does anything else other than it being a heavy weapon. Yep, that's right. Reliable. Let me just check if there's anything else that's on this weapon. Nope, it's just long range. Oh, it's got salvo 4, which means he's going to use a ammo up and add the salvo rating to the dice pool because he's just going to go full auto at you. Right, so what's his roll to hit with this? I have no idea. Let me see.
Oh, it sounds like he misses then.
Yeah, of course he misses. Yeah, ballistic skill then is that. Okay, what's your defense?
Ooh, we don't have armor, do we?
No.
Base defense is 4.
Your base defense is 4. Wow. Not
Yeah.
resilience, your defense.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Base defense is 3. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's definitely hit, and we'll shift 1 into extra damage. And the damage is 10 basic plus will be 2 extra damage. And you've got no armor, so the AP doesn't matter. And does 12 damage in total.
Okay, so Sister Mariana's down.
Is she down? You've got you can do your determination roll and take it as shock.
Okay. Action to restore determination. Okay. So I roll determination, and that gives me what?
You just roll your determination, and every success turns a point of damage into shock damage.
Okay, well, I have a determination of 4, and I got 1 icon on that. So I only take 10 wounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still down.
Or you could re-roll it with a wrath.
It's not going to help.
Right. Okay, you're down.
I took 12 wounds. Unless I get all 6s, I'm down.
Okay. So yes, you're riddled with lasgun shots, and you hit the ground, incapacitated. Weir has already chopped up some people, and with that, over the Voxhaler, you hear a reminiscent voice. This is Mendax. I know you're on board. The archivist gave me the names of passage that you used. Give me the revelator now, and no one else must suffer punishment for your indiscretion.
Well, we're just going to keep killing these dudes, right? Awesome. Good.
Yeah. We are stalwart in our belief. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna let one of them have a go at shooting you guys at Weir, because Weir's obviously jumped from the shadows.
I did.
Someone's gonna fire at him. Weir's defense is what, 3?
My defense is 4.
Defense is 4. They do hit you with a complication. Let me think. They fire, but then clearly their power pack runs out. They've run out of shots on it, and they've hit, and they're using a basic hell gun, which is 7 plus 1 ED. So they do 8 points of damage at you.
Okay. So I reduce that by my resilience.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm gonna roll. And I can move over into shock. Do I include my wrath die in the determination?
No.
Okay. That was 3 6s.
Oh, I
Wow.
forgot to reduce that damage by my resilience. Thank you.
Yes, you should reduce
I
it by
totally
resilience.
forgot to do that.
So I
So
take
you're likely not on the ground.
Yeah.
3 shock and
Wow, okay. And that means Sister Mariana is instead...
Sister Mariana is instead slightly wounded. She has 1 wound. And
One wound.
quite a lot of shock. 1 wound and 5 shock.
Okay, cool. Right. With that, someone else can obviously respond with gunfire and choose what you want to do as actions.
Rufio will charge in with a chainsword to a non-flagellant target.
Yeah, sure.
That was the most resounding whiff in gaming history. No icons with a 1 on the wrath die. Also, I rolled a lot of 1s.
So you could re-roll that, but you can't
I
re-roll
should.
you
I
can't
should.
re-roll
It's
the
near
wrath
the end of
die.
the session.
You
So
should.
yeah, the wrath die is locked in. I would use a wrath point. Let me just mark that on my character sheet to re-roll all the other stuff because that was.
how much
So
glory
it
do
looks
we
like
have?
because of his new twitchy shoulder,
There is 2 points of glory.
and gets 6 icons,
Wow. Okay.
and we'll
That's-
shift. I mean, they have a low defense, so I'll shift one of the exalted icons over to be an extra damage die.
Okay. And then roll for damage. They've got a resilience of 10. Your AP on your weapon is what, -2?
No, there's no AP on it.
No AP on the chainsword?
No, strangely
No.
not.
Okay, but
but-
remember to add your strength, yeah.
It will be 14 damage coming at him.
In total, 14 damage. Okay.
14 damage.
Yeah,
total.
the chainsaw, you swipe with it, it grinds through their armor. It doesn't kill them. It doesn't sever anything, but as they fall away, the chainsword carries on with your swipe and embeds itself into the bulkhead of the ship and is hard to wrench free.
Yeah, that's not good.
Then I will let another one take a shot. This time, I think they've got a clear shot at Danica because they've just seen their friends be shot up. So, and
That's
now
fair.
I think they will recognize that you're the ones these are the heretics they're looking for. Well, they will have been told they're heretics, but Danica's defense is a 2 or 3.
2.
2, so that's definitely hit. And then damage with a hell gun is 7 plus 1 extra damage. So that's 7 points of damage to you.
Okay. And then I subtract my
Resilience.
resilience, so I take 3.
Yeah.
But hold on a minute.
I'm also converted.
I am tenacious, so I just recover 1 shock for every exalted icon I roll when I roll determination.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm just looking for what interesting things. That's mob ability. That's no good. Okay, cool. But you can act as well now, Danica.
All right, I'm gonna pull out my bolt pistol and shoot. Is there one of the tentacly things?
Oh yeah,
still?
you can get a clear line of sight to one. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go after one of those because I'm ranged. I have 4 successes.
So that's definitely a hit.
All right, and then That is 12 damage. No, it's 13 damage. Sorry.
And that will blow one apart again, turn it into hunks of flesh and flailing mechadendrites. At which point, then we're going to have, hearing all the gunshots, is the next round of what people want to do. What do you want to do then? Do you want to try and board Mendax's gun cutter? Is that your plan?
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. So you're going to start moving towards that as you're facing down these mercenaries, this boarding party.
How many mercenaries are left?
Yes. And how many
You'll
civilians or pilgrims are
You've
left?
killed 2 arco-flagellants and killed, what, 2 mercs?
Two or three.
So 2 or 3. So there's possibly another... You have no idea. You think with the sound of gunfire, there's likely like a dozen or so mercenaries.
How many
all
can we
armed
see,
similarly.
and how many can see us?
Right
what's
now,
important.
Sister Mariana can see in the corridor about 3 of them at the end, because they're at the entrance to the airlock. You guys can see possibly about another 4 or 5 in this main cargo hold.
Including the one with the volley gun?
Only Sister Mariana can see the one with the huge volley gun.
Ah, okay.
In the corridor.
All right.
What about pilgrims? How many of them
There
are
are
left?
there's like hundreds of them as they're running away from where those mercenaries are, moving into possibly another cargo hold. People are being crushed underfoot. There are screams. People are terrified.
I would like to try to blend in with the crowd again in order to reactivate my stealth. Try to take out the one with the volley.
Okay.
Get to him.
Well, you're not going to be able to get to the one with the big volley gun because they're in the main corridor defending the airlock. So there's no one that you would have to come out of cover to
Okay.
them. There is 0 way you can stealth your way there.
Is there a side corridor I could use there?
Potentially, yes.
I'm just
You
going
could
to
do that.
break off from the group and
Okay.
blend in with the crowd. Try to make my way surreptitiously around.
Okay. Make a stealth roll then. Seven. Okay, yeah, you are sneaking away. Right, that was your action. So again, one of the mercenaries looking down at in front of Rufio in the direction of where the main airlock is will take a shot and gets a critical hit.
Cool. A lot of those going on today.
It's
You weren't
brutal.
using that force of life, right? Yeah.
Damage again was 7 plus 1 ED, so that's 9 points of damage plus whatever the critical is.
Okay, I'm still good.
Oh, critical is dead. Your head exploded. Oh.
Yeah, well, we'll see what that is.
Oh,
No, the critical is a 32.
okay, that doesn't sound that bad. Middle of the road.
Is the oh no, that's Perils of the Warp. We don't want that.
No. What happens? What happens?
Demons.
Opens a
what we
hole and
do.
demons come out. What?
So,
You got shot in your demon holder. Dang.
But that's actually things are about to get a little interesting, I'm sure.
Ooh, yeah, 32 is Merciless Strike.
Yeah. Suffer you take an extra wound that goes straight past your armor and resilience. So you take 9 points of damage minus your resilience, and an extra point of damage as well.
Yep. I've taken 4 wounds total.
Cool. Okay. As the shot hits you, Rufio, you're still carrying the Revelator, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
not giving that up.
the last bolt slices through your midriff, and you're bleeding, and your blood is clearly seeping into where the Revelator is holding what you're holding. and you begin to realize it's beginning to glow through the clothing, almost burning hot. It drops out, having sizzled its way through the robe. And that's when all of you hear, everyone around you hears some sort of this screeching in your mind, something ripping its way into reality, as if the ship you're on board has crashed into some other void-going vessel. The Revelator, as it lands upon the cargo hold floor, is glowing white hot, and near it you watch in horror as a fissure in reality itself begins to open. So anyone that's witnessing this can make a difficulty 3 corruption test.
I'm not corrupted again.
All right, please remind me again what I need to roll for that.
Resilience.
Resilience.
Plus 4 dice from Sister Mariana.
Is
Oh,
Sister
thank-
Mariana close enough to witness it, being out in the hallway?
I don't think so. I think you and I are both out of sight.
Oh, okay. Let me re-roll then, so I can maybe get some corruption out of this. Ah, I got some corruption. Thanks, Sister Mariana, for not being there.
I'm not there for you.
How much corruption has anyone got?
3 total.
Um,
3 successes.
so everyone's passed then, but Rufio's
No,
got
I
more
got
corruption.
2 icons.
You got 2
I
icons.
was
Okay.
I was telling you I have 3 total corruption now.
Okay. From this rift in reality, things, tentacles, hands begin reaching forth. Something is emerging, something chittering, screaming, looking, grasping for anything it can grab hold of. And from it emerges, and their hands are carrying almost balls of fire, or bale fire, I guess would be appropriate to describe them, are things that can only be described to those who know of such creatures of the warp as pink horrors of Tzeentch. These strange, amorphous kind of creatures, let's just call them, burst forth and lunge at anyone and anything nearby. Okay, Rufio's been hit. So Rufio or Danica have the chance to make an attack. You can also attack a horror that has just erupted from the fissure.
Oh no, I'm running.
You're running.
I need the Revelator back. It's mine.
Rufio, this is an order.
Well, I
let
failed
me
my
just
corruption
get-
test, so not gonna follow orders right now.
So everyone needs to make also a fear test, difficulty 3, because obviously they are terrifying in form.
Is that off of resilience?
That'll be off conviction.
Do Sister Mariana and Weir even see this? We're in the
No,
hallway.
you don't see this.
Okay, so no fear test for us.
No.
Oh,
I automatically pass my fear tests.
Does Rufio get a
I'm
bonus
immune-
from
I'm
the
immune to
commissar?
fear.
You're immune to fear, but you make a careful retreat as you watch one of
Oh
these
gosh, yeah.
horrors literally just point its hand at the direction of one of the mercenaries, and you watch a blaze of blue flames erupt and incinerate that mercenary.
Lovely.
Rufio got
It's-
3 icons.
You're fine then. You're okay.
And oof, looks around. Is there like a fire retardant blanket nearby or something like that?
I have no idea. Weir is making his way through a side corridor, watching gunfire and pilgrims. You work your way through the huddled masses who are trying to find some sort of escape. You're making your way closer to the airlock. You could lunge out on a mercenary right now.
Is it the mercenary? I want to stay as stealthed and avoid detection as much as possible. Like it's a guy
It
with that volley
likely
gun.
isn't the mercenary you want with the big heavy weapon, but you'll be close.
Is that mercenary moving on, or are they standing there?
Currently, they're just standing, just shooting down the corridor, or just, they're defending that point, which is the airlock.
Okay.
Oh, let
You've
Sister Mariana go
also
next.
heard the shudder and screaming in the ship, and you
Yeah.
have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I'm going to hold, and I'm going to observe and wait for the ideal opportunity to unleash my storm of death.
Okay. Sister Mariana, then?
Sister Mariana would like to demand that the mercenary with the big gun repent. He has the Imperium keyword, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Being a human, great.
Nice.
She will look at him, spend a point of faith, and tell him to think about what he has done here on this day, on this holy ship carrying pilgrims of his mercy and infinite blessing. Think about what you have done. She's going to make an intimidation test against the target. I do not know what he will defend with.
Be conviction, isn't it? Or is it resolve? I don't know.
Honestly don't know.
It's an intimidation test, is it?
Yes.
It'll be his resolve, I'm sure.
Interaction attacks. Intimidation. Range, the effects, blah, blah, blah. Sure, resolve sounds good.
Yep. Okay, go on then. Resolve will be basically the difficulty number. So it's difficulty number of 2.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 icons, including 2 from an exalted icon. Nothing fun.
So he drops to his knees, weeping for repentance.
Yep, and he will stay down for, I think it's 20 seconds or something, for a while.
Which is long enough for you just to walk forward and execute him.
That's well, I was gonna let Weir do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Weir is able at this point likely to burst forward, and hearing this this hymn.
Like,
and
that sounds familiar. Okay.
It warms your heart, and you simply have the chance of walking out, and you can attack the one mercenary, and with a executing blow, take out this other one.
Going to spend a wrath and re-roll my failures here. Because I did not get as many successes. Hey, that's better. 1, 2. That's 9. Yeah, 9.
Yeah, you execute him quite happily, and as you pirouette, impale the volley gunner through the chest, and with your boot slide him off the blade. You're at the airlock to the gun cutter, and surely inside somewhere is Mendax waiting for you. What's everyone else want to do? Obviously, Sister Mariana is moving towards that airlock. Danica has fled, retreating, making a tactical retreat with a bolt gun, with a bolt pistol.
Actually, if Sister Mariana is she coming my way or up the other way?
Okay, so if the airlock is here, you guys are in the cargo hold here. Sister Mariana came this way. We had done something like that.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up and make my way and cover them so that they can make their way this way.
Okay. You're likely going to have to shoot at some crazed, gibbering demons because they are tearing people apart and attacking.
I mean, that's what I do best. One of the things I do best. So I'm going to do that. Ooh, okay, so I got one icon and one exalted icon on my wrath die.
Oh, okay, cool. So you've definitely hit because they've got a defense of 3. They've got a resilience of 5.
All right. So. There's gonna take 10 points of damage.
Okay, you explode the pink horror with bolt gun rounds, and as it does so, you watch flames erupt from its strange flesh. And as you see that, rather than dying, the body parts of it split apart and reform, falling two smaller, equally gibbering, crazed demons, now blue in color, that leap upon nearby mercenaries, and one starts gibbering and runs straight towards you with its little claws.
Take it.
Yeah.
Punt
Gonna.
punt the evil
I'm
monkey.
gonna let that one attack you. It's got a bill of 8. Oh no. Your defense is like 2 or 3. 2. Yeah, it definitely hits, and its claws is only okay. Why did they do that? Same statistics. Oh, okay, with the following adjustments, right? Let me just check. Claws. Magical claws. Still magical claws. Okay, so it does 5 plus 2 extra damage, and strength is 3. So it does something like 10. It does 10 points of damage minus your resilience.
Oh, okay. That would mean I'm down.
Can you do a determination test?
I can do a determination test. I'm going to do that. Let's see here.
Meanwhile, Rufio, what are you going to do?
Rufio is trying to figure out a way to pick up the Revelator. Is it still white hot?
No, it is no longer white hot.
He picks it up.
Okay, and
Well, actually, he will take off his cloak because the jig's up. Everyone knows this 7-foot tall beast man. Uses that to kind of shield his hand a bit as he picks it up.
Yeah, you pick it up and it is warm to the touch. And what, you're going to leg it towards where the gun cuts to the dot, the airlock. Okay,
Getting
cool.
out of here.
I am spending a wrath point to reroll.
As you do that, Rufio, we're going to have one of the pink horrors will turn, and sensing the Revelator, will erupt a blast of flames in your direction.
Ooh, flame of siege.
Yeah. I need to roll to hit with this, or it may not need to. I do need to roll to hit because it may just like completely miss you with it. It's got a lot of dice though for it. God, a lot of dice. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely hit you. It is 9 points of damage, and you are on it. You'll be on fire.
All right. Does my resilience detract from this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna do a determination roll on this because I need some of that to be shock, and 1 point of it will be shock. Harsh.
Okay, cool. So you've taken damage, and yes, and so the other thing is you're on fire, which means
my fur is on fire, everyone.
Yeah, your fur is on fire.
Burning goat. Ugh.
Yeah.
Burning smelly goat is on fire.
Not the most pleasant.
All right. So I got 3 successes on my determination roll.
Okay, so you're not dead. You're not dying.
So, but I am very wounded.
Okay. As you're running away from it, the rift into the warp is getting ever larger, spawning even more of these gibbering creatures, and the space itself is beginning to feel like it's twisting, and the ship itself is seemingly is beginning to lurch out of control, potentially careering back into the planet. I'm just trying to find the conditions on fire. On fire, if you're on fire, you take D3 mortal wounds at the start of your next turn. After taking a mortal wound, you need to pass a willpower test. and someone to put you to put it out, basically. So you can do a drop and roll to do so. More information is on 201. 201 fire. If you're on fire, you can put it out as an agility test on a difficulty number of 3 next turn. Okay, cool. But you're all legging it towards the main airlock. We're having killed people there.
Yep.
Sister Mariana has cleared the way. And as you do so, you run through past the airlock doors, and you can see as inside the gun cutter in that main bay, Mendax, her strange augmented figure with her, her like tank trap like appendage instead of her legs, wheeling herself into a escape pod. Seeing that clearly things have gone totally out of control. Seeing you enter, she looks at you where the revelator should have been mine. You will pay for this. I will recover it in due course. And with that, the door on the escape pod closes, and you just hear this as it's fired off. You look behind you as Rufio, covered in flames, has ran in through the airlock door, and you hear the screams of the other mercenaries as they're fighting clearly more horrors of Tzeentch. And Sister Mariana, I'm sure you're reciting at this point some prayer to turn away the horrors of chaos.
Oh, absolutely. She's doesn't have anything that will actually do anything there, but she will stand at the airlock door, dragging that gun in with her.
Oh yeah,
one hand
I think between you and Danica, you can lay down just use up every clip of bolt gun ammunition you've got, and lay down a withering hail of fire behind you,
suppressing fire.
Yeah, and as you watch pink horrors explode and turn into blue horrors, and blue horrors explode and turn into little tiny brimstone horrors, and you watch as the rift, that glowing rift, opens ever more, and you get into someone thumbs the button on the airlock door. It closes shut, and the explosive bolts are fired, and you watch from a portal as the gun cutter drifts away from the fire raven as the warp rift tears it asunder and sucks it into the immaterium. You head up to the main cockpit, where
I thought they said that
Slaved-
ship wasn't rift capable.
No, it got sucked in by
Clearly.
the warp rift that the Revelator created. You go up to the main cockpit, where Slaved, fully unable to move, the pilot is waiting instructions, and you clearly, obviously, show it who's in charge, and you're able to escape, heading back to Veronius's fleet.
Ooh.
Or will you?
Yeah,
Can
I
the
think I know
pilot
what
track
yours.
that escape pod?
Yep. If the pilot can't, Rufio can pilot. Don't worry.
Well, the pilot is like slave to the vehicle. He's like fully wired in.
Okay, pilot. Track escape pod that just launched. Also, I put the flames out from my fur.
Yeah. The escape, by the point you're able to get the pilot to agree with what you're doing, you won't be able to track the escape pod because it would have fallen into the gravity well of Daedalus.
Nuke the planet?
Good thing. Yeah. We really need to kill her.
But at that point, we can definitely leave it there because
Graveyard shift just keeps getting longer and longer.
yeah, because you have the Revelator, and you don't know what other resources she may well be able to pull on you. Your best bet would be, of course, to get back to Veronius's fleet.
Probably. If we can't blow her out of the sky, then we should.
But we
just
can
hit her
always
Veronius.
catch up on that at the start of what Veronius intends to do with the Revelator with the start of the next story. So with that, everyone gets like 12 XP off this quite happily. That's the end of Graveyard Shift with a bit extra. What we had this entire section is not in the published material. We had to go well beyond that.
Way off the rails.
Way off the rails. But it gives you an idea of how crazy and dangerous things get, and gives another bit of flavor of the 40K universe.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to find out more, please go over to www.darker-days.org and listen to episodes of Darkhammer for everything about 40K and Warhammer RPGs. Our latest episode is about Space Marines and how to play them, what they are, how to role play them in Wrath and Glory. If you go over to the rest of the Darker Days episodes, you will find a plethora of episodes covering interviews with designers and about how to run horror games. Of course, if you want more content, you've missed the earlier episodes of this, go over to the YouTube for Gehenna Gaming. You'll find all the episodes from this, plus other shows, which includes things for like Vampire and other games like that. Go over to our Twitter and our WordPress. So Twitter is at Darker Days Radio, Instagram at Darker Days Radio. Go over to our WordPress as well. You will find painting guides to miniatures and stuff. I've recently finished painting some Daughters of Cain, which I will be using for Warcry. And of course, you can play Daughters of Cain in the Soulbound RPG, which is set in Age of Sigmar, which is also from Cubicle 7 and is a Warhammer RPG. That is everything for now, I think, other than our UK Games Expo panel about how to get into RPG writing is up on the UK Games Expo YouTube, and on the 17th, I think, is it 17th or is it 16th? 17th, Thursday of September, is the PAX Online panel.
It is the 16th into the 17th. That's right. We're going through midnight for PAX Online. Pretty excited.
And that panel is about how to scare players respectfully. So it's tips, tricks of how to obviously make use of player consent and how to check in and all those things to make sure you can have a fun horror game where you have horror without, triggering PTSD on someone and so forth.
It has numerous shout outs to our friends at Gehenna Gaming. So it's all good.
We try.
So that's myself, Mike, Crystal, and Pete that are on that episode. And I think that is it that I can think of.
Could be. Fantastic. You are where you need to be if you want to find anything about Gehenna Gaming. GehennaGaming.com, all those fun things. We have a lot of really cool stuff coming up over the next few weeks, not associated with PAX Online, so stay tuned for... Oh, Lord. Monster Hearts 2 tomorrow, a deep dive into Monster Hearts on Tuesday, our normal Worlds and Crafts stream on Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday evening, we'll be interviewing Ellie from Atlanta by Night. Going into the following week, we have a bunch of really cool interviews up over the next couple, so keep an eye out for those. And as well as our podcast this coming Sunday will be with Rick Hines of Apotheosis Studios for the Red Opera, as well as James, the vocalist from Black Crown Initiate, who is also involved in that project. So a lot of cool stuff. Make sure you check those out. And
you guys are involved in the Kickstarter for that, aren't you?
Yes, we are. And then make sure you go check out that Kickstarter, which there's a link to over on our Twitter. Currently, it's not. I can't link to it right now. I just don't have it readily handily available. If you back it and help us help them get through more stretch goals, Gehenna Gaming is writing one of the upcoming stretch goals, which is very exciting. So make sure you go check that out. Go to the link that's over on our Twitter, Gehenna Gaming, and do that and enjoy. It's a really cool game. If you didn't catch last night's one shot of it, you can find that in our videos here on Twitch. It'll be over on YouTube soon. I think Tuesday. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. No. Oh. September is Subtember on Twitch. If you enjoyed this episode, you should subscribe because you will get a discount for subscribing, and Twitch takes that out of their cut, so we still get all of the support from a subscription. You should also go over to the Darker Days Radio Twitch because that's cool too.
Yeah, we haven't done much on our Twitch, but we should do at some point.
You should.
We will work something out, I'm sure. Yeah.
Excellent.
If you have ideas for content for that, please tell us because, we have busy lives with other things, so we'll work out something. Cool.
Excellent.
I think that is it.
Well, thank you again, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.